So here's what my setup sounds like with all my pedals with no silencer. And there it is with the silencer. And so I've seen a lot of people online say that the silencer isn't that great. And I understand the criticism. The criticism being that the attack is not that fast. And I agree with that. However, I think the silencer is meant primarily to do what I'm doing with it now. And that is to run your noisiest pedals within the return and send of the Electro Harmonix silencer. So the tube screamer, my distortion, I got compression before. All my noisiest stuff is in the silencer. And then all of my other pedals are after. So for that purpose, I mean, it just works great. And so if I turn it off again, so there it is with my pickups turned all the way down. And that's with my pickups up. So for that reason, I mean, I love this thing. I think it works very good. And I've got a ton of other pedals going on. I've got like reverb, I've got delay, I've got chorus, I've got EQ, I've got compression. And what if I turn these all off? I'll give you a kind of a demonstration of what that sounds like. Well, I'm gonna keep the EQ on though, just because I like the EQ. Now let's try that again with it. Yeah, frankly, it just sucks. And I find that, like, you know, I am also putting an ISP decimator on after, and I use that for the effects that are outside the send and return on the Electro Harmonix silencer. So for instance, if I got my delay and my chorus and my reverb on just like so, the silencer does not affect the reverb or any of that because those pedals are outside of it. So you notice how there's still a nice release there. So simply put, for that reason, I really enjoy the silencer. I find that it works very perfectly. And some things you should know in terms of how to use it is that you do have a battery capability on it. And what's nice about the silencer is that, and really every pedal that's similar to this, is that there's no LED display and there's really no digital effects. So a 9-volt battery is going to last for a significant amount of time in a pedal like this. So for that reason, it's good to use with a battery. I'm going to use a power supply with it anyway. I use the Voodoo Labs Pedal Power 3, which is wonderful. But you can easily use a battery if you wanted to, right? In terms of the parameters on the silencer, and I'm just going to leave all my pedals on too because, you know, it's as noisy as possible. But with this setting right here, this release all jacked up like that's actually the fastest release possible. Let me turn, maybe that will demonstrate it better. So if we turn it all the way to like this, that should be around 4 seconds. So you notice how it does cut it out after a little while. By the way, if you're looking for something to practice, get my fretboard memorization cheat sheet from travelingguitarist.com/fretboard cheat sheet. What it is it's all the triads, the major and minor triads in every single key. Through the octave mapping technique and through a couple other techniques, you can actually just learn to memorize not only the notes of the fretboard, but you can also learn how to improvise in a bunch of different keys by understanding the you know, the foundation of harmony, which is the triads, right? The foundation of chords. You can also sign up to my forum at forum.travelingguitarist.com. There you can, you know, chat with people about guitar and music and whatever else you'd like. And then when you put it back to here, it's supposed to be around 8 milliseconds. And then with your reduction, that's controlling like how much you're actually gating it, right? So that's actually quite quiet even like that. So for me, I just crank it, man, but you could make it a little more natural if you wanted to. And personally, I think the best way to start for using, like for how to dial in the pedal, is I'll show you right now. So like, let's put like everything around halfway like that. So you can see it's not quite good right now. So what I'll do is I'll crank the reduction. So now it's gonna drop it and make it as slow as possible. But it's still not working right. But now that we have so much reduction, we can actually get a proper threshold reading on it because it's gonna cut it out right away, so we actually can hear what we're doing. So let's turn this up a bit, the threshold. So obviously that sucks, right? So just slowly turn it, and you can even hear the radio. You hear that? So let's slowly turn it. And let's go even more just for the sake of it. Let's go a wee bit. Go like there. So it's still not that great. So now we're gonna adjust the release, and we're gonna go back to about here. So now that's a perfect setting in my opinion. And then if you got an extra noise gate like I do with the ISP decimator, which is wonderful, it's a really good noise gate. In my other video, I said it wasn't that great, and that's because I simply didn't know how to use it properly. But because all of the other pedals are in the noise gate of the silencer, it's kind of created a situation where like the silencer doesn't affect any of that other stuff. The silencer is only affecting the absolute noisiest pedals, and that's because the noisiest pedals are running into its send and return. So all in all, I'm very happy with the noise gate, with the silencer, especially when compared with the decimator, because it does exactly what I need it to. Now, would it be better to have an ISP decimator G-string or whatever it's called, and would it be better to have a TCE Sentry noise gate or whatever that one's called? I don't remember the name, sorry. Yeah, sure it would be, but for the price, And depending on what you're using it for, I mean, I think the silencer is perfect. I mean, it's perfect for just gating those extremely noisy pedals in your chain. And then even when you're not using the super noisy stuff, I think it still works really good. In fact, it's not uncommon for me to just leave it on